to The Unraveling Soprano. I'm Heather, and this is my podcast where I talk about all of my makes for the week, whether that be knitting, crochet, or sewing. Today we have a little bit of a mostly knitting podcast, and then maybe some future plans. So let's get into it. So what am I wearing? I am wearing the Rent shawl from the Outlander knitting book, and I think it's really cute. I made this. It's very warm. It's made out of Tierra Wool's churro, which I believe is, I'm gonna say this and I might be wrong, but I believe it's a farm out of um, like the Southwest. It is normally a yarn I think that is intended for rug making. But I got it as a gift. I got mostly this really nice natural base, and then I got a skein of this nice blue, and so I was like, oh, perfect, I'll make a shawl. So this is actually my first shawl, and it is very warm. It's very scratchy, which is why it probably makes fantastic rugs. As for garments, I would never probably make, unless you're like really cool with that you don't have any sort of wool sensitivity, I wouldn't actually make a sweater out of this. And actually I did use some leftovers to, oh, there's one of my yarn bits is not woven in. I used the remainder of what I have left over in a hat, and I have to actually go back and line it with some cotton lining or something because it is a little bit too itchy on my head. But I really do love this pattern. It was my first time doing intarsia. There's in the book, there's two ways you could do this shawl, one with intarsia and one with another way of doing color work. I chose the intarsia, and I was, yeah, so actually my first color work in general. I thought it was pretty easy to follow. Yarn management was kind of like, as to be expected, kind of a hot mess, but I love the finished object. So next, my mostly finished object. It's still kind of damp. I did not, when I was wet blocking, this is the Blushing Birches neck from Drops. This is what it looks like. I didn't wring this, well, I don't normally wring out my knits, but I usually like roll them up in a towel and get out all the excess water. I didn't think I needed to do this because I let it drip dry for a couple hours. So I was like, okay, I'll probably be good. I know I was wrong. I needed to roll it up in a towel. So it's a little bit damp. It's a little big. Like this neck is little. I did not do a gauge swatch because I'm a chaotic person. I don't do gauge swatches. So I mean, yeah, I was expecting this to be a little big. I haven't tried it on. I might throw this in the dryer for like the last little bit. See if maybe it shrinks up a little bit. Just like the neck. I am not too concerned if it gets destroyed in the dryer because honestly, it I can always redo it. It didn't take me that much time. As far as the pattern is concerned, super easy pattern. Yeah, really pleasant experience. Got it done in maybe like 2-3 days, which is some of my favorite knits is the super quick ones. So that is my finished object. I did start a new cast on. So this is the Traveling Woman. Did I get that right? Yeah. So this is the Traveling Woman shawl. I am on the increases. And what am I using? I am using the Knit Picks Hawthorne in the color Sweet Home Tonal. This was a mistake yarn that they sent me. I was actually ordering a different color and they actually sent this to me on accident. And I ended up really loving it because I bought the original yarn I was buying was for a gift, and this is just gonna be for me. So I'm on the increases. I am pretty positive that I've already screwed up There's a bunch of different, so there's a lot of different gauges. So you can use a lot of different types of yarn, like lace weight up until I think like at least worsted, maybe bulky, but at least worsted. So they have, the designer has a couple different ways to do this, and on the lace weight, this is a free pattern, so I don't feel bad giving this stuff away. Um, on the lace weight pattern, it says it wants you to do a edge stitch of 3 stitches. And with everything else, it's 2 stitches. And of course, I did not scroll down far enough. And so my edge stitch, don't look at me, look at it, is 3 stitches. I'm hoping, now that I realized that last night, I was like, I'm like real far into these increases. I think I only have like maybe, I think I'm on like the 20th repeat of the increases. And I think I only have to go to 33 because I'm making a big shawl. I'm hoping that I can just kind of switch to like move my marker and just kind of pretend like it didn't happen. We'll see. I think because it's on the edge, like honestly, I think it'll be less noticeable. I think it'll be fine. Because we're still part of the shawl where if I was to wear it like a shawl, it's not like right in front of my face. I mean, I'm gonna do it. I'm probably not gonna notice it because I'm just there are definitely things that I'm like that I notice that bugs me, but I'm just not the personality where I'm gonna like, I just don't have time to be nitpicky. Um, Especially because sometimes I feel like getting too perfectionist kind of messes with just like the creative flow. I mean, there are definitely times where I am a perfectionist, but stuff like that, stuff like oh, it's not exactly precise. I just don't have time to be bothered. So that is my work in progress. I still have my deep wood sweater that's hanging out. It might hang out for another week, and then I'll get back to it. I just have some other stuff that I want to get done before then. I do have a very small yarn acquisition. So when I started the traveling woman sweater, nope, traveling woman's shawl, I realized that I only had enough yarn to do a small or a medium shawl, and I really wanted, because this yarn is quite lovely, really very soft. I really wanted something that I could just like wrap up in, something lightweight, because this is great for when it's super super cold. Um, but I'm not gonna gravitate towards this most days, especially like not in the spring. This is not something I'm going to gravitate towards, but the traveling woman shawl I might. So I bought another skein, so pretty in the viewfinder. Look at those pinks and purples. So I bought another one of those so I can make the big shawl. With the traveling woman shawl, I am actually using the suggested needle size, which I never do. But I thought, and did I gauge swatch? Of course I didn't. Of course I didn't gauge swatch. Just jumped right in. But I think it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. This is not like not saving people's lives. I am knitting up a shawl. But so I'm not quite sure how big it's gonna be. I'm hoping I use all my yarn. I think that the large called for 600 yards, and I think between the two skeins I have 700 yards, so it might be pretty big. But I also saw this. This is also the Hawthorne. It's a DK, but it's also a Hawthorne yarn. So it's a Hawthorne DK from Knit Picks. It's called Spring Water Multi. And look at how pretty that is. This is like reminding me very much of like I think this is probably the point. Monet's like water lilies. Because it's called Spring Water Multi. I feel like that's kind of what they were going for. But I thought a shawl in this would be quite pretty. And then I have like then I have all the shawls because I have this one, I'd have my lighter one, and then this would be like a midweight. I can't see myself needing more than 3 at this point in my life. At least not like the triangle shawls. I might want another big rectangle shawl, but who knows? Like again, like I feel like I'm in my shawl era. Never thought I'd get here, but I got 2 hanks of this, and I think that's gonna be enough for most. Like it's probably not gonna be as big, but yeah, I think for most shawls. And I'm looking for free pad because especially because I'm not 100% positive um how much I'm gonna wear these shawls. I don't want to spend a bunch of on patterns, so I'm looking for free patterns, um, because if I'm just out the yarn, if I don't wear it a whole lot, I feel like that's not as like a big of a deal. So yeah, that is what I have as far as like traditional podcasts. The next thing I want to talk about is I think actually I am 99.9% positive I am going to do a little bit of vlogmas this year. So this is my first time doing it's not my first time having a doing like videos or whatever, but it is my first time doing like more of this like sit down, chatty, not scripted stuff. And it would be my first time doing a vlog of any sort. I am not going to be doing every single day of December because no. Those people who can do that, oh god bless. Like to be able to be that organized and carry on with all the rest of the stuff of December. Like I don't want to be a crazed human during December. I want to be able to enjoy the month. So I think I'm gonna do like I think I'm gonna do 12, but I'm going to give myself an out if like halfway through the month I'm like, oh my god, I can't do this. Then I will reassess. But I think that I'm gonna do 12 days of Vlogmas and pretty much just focus on like my things that I do during December, like my like little traditions, and also like a lot of crafts that I do during the holidays. And I'm gonna try very hard not to get like because I was looking at all like the advent calendars. So I was like, oh, I could get all these yarn advent calendars, and then I looked at the price and I was like, one, I'm really way too late for this because if you want to get a good yarn advent calendar, you really got to be thinking about this in September, maybe August. And no, I wasn't doing that. And also like, and I'm sure that it's worth every penny, but they are a little bit beyond my price point at this moment in time. And also, I don't know what to do with those, like the little bits of yarn. I know from myself personally, when I have little ends of yarn from projects that like that bugs me. So I'm like, if I gonna put all this money in it and then not use it? So maybe in future years I'll do a yarn advent calendar, but I think for this year I'm just gonna do like a tea advent calendar. So I'll open that, and then kind of go through like crafts and stuff. But let me know if there's anything particular that you like to see from creators as far as Vlogmas, and I'll see if I can incorporate it. I can't promise that I will be able to do everything because like I'm limited as far as time and resources. But yeah, I'm excited. I am excited because I'm a big Christmas fan. And I was able to like figure out my schedule a little bit, and I'm really excited about some of the things that I have planned. I think it's gonna be kind of cute. But yeah, and also let me know what you're working on. How are your Christmas knits, gifting knits? How are they going? And yeah, so that's all I got to have for you today. Until I see you next time, happy knitting. Bye.